Being part of the village board is a great opportunity to give back to the community. Personally, for me, throughout my career, I've always been on the other side of the table working for city government and state government. So to understand, I guess, the commitment that elected officials make, it feels good to be able to give back in that way for Waunakee. Oh, always in my fridge. Hershey's chocolate syrup, for sure. Yeah, you can't have ice cream without it. Waunakee has a lot of great events and traditions. We just had, obviously, Wannaboom, one of the coolest fireworks events throughout the region, maybe throughout Wisconsin. But I think for me personally, I love Oktoberfest. I love the idea of celebrating the German heritage. Even it's one of the most fun events that's part of that is the fun run. Participating in it, actually even more so watching it, the family, the kids that are involved, the outfits, just the good time that everybody's having is really cool to see. It's probably a duo. It's probably my mom and dad. I can't think of anything that really I'm doing now in my life or decisions that made it the way that I operate that didn't come down to the way that they raised me, whether it's from being adventurous or being stubborn and trying to just persevere and figure out how to get things done. No, definitely my mom and dad. I think maybe something that people from outside of Waunakee don't really think about is how the community has its own unique character, and it's a very identifiable community where it seems, throughout the Madison region, they sort of blend together and it's hard to distinguish one community from another. But that's not the case with Waunakee, and you have so many different attributes. So, you want to have the historic, the charming areas in town to the new subdivisions, whatever really a family or a person or an individual is looking for. In Waunakee, it has that to offer, and then intermixed with good schools and the parks and trails and all of the amenities that people are really looking for in a community. Waunakee has all of those. Probably steak, potatoes, and sweet corn. I think personally for me, and a lot of my involvement actually came before I was on the village board as part of the Community Development Authority. But the Betterment Housing Fund was something that we worked long and hard on and put a lot of thought into. A lot of research was done by staff, a lot of discussion was had at the committee level and at the board level, and to have that now in place and people applying for it and taking advantage of the funds to help rehabilitate some of the older homes in Waunakee is very cool. I actually think it'll be a template for other communities to follow as they're looking at ways to improve existing housing stock, create opportunities for more affordable housing within their areas. I think the community as a whole should be very proud of that program. Google Maps, all the time. Just start getting involved. Identify where your interests are, where your appetite is. If there's not an open seat on a committee or an elected board position at the time, look at the events that are in town, or look at other ways just on a regular basis, whether it's library or just any special task force that interests them. Reach out to the community, to the village staff, and they'll help plug you into some of those areas that suit your interest, but just do it. Midship, up until about 2 years ago, now like a sea salt caramel is right up there. I think it goes back to the opportunity to give back. I had been on the Community Development Authority, and that was really my first official village community role, other than volunteering on some committees here and there. But I think knowing how much of a commitment is and how important some of the decisions that are being made at that level, I'm honored to be a part of it, and I would absolutely encourage people that are interested in helping Waunakee into its next chapters of our community life, our community future, to do the same. Mrs. Lopnow, she was my third grade teacher, hands down one of my favorite all-time teachers. She just had a way of making kids feel special and making learning fun. Just a special lady. Well, I'll give the reason that brought me to Waunakee. First it was the schools that I think hands down when we had young kids, that was the criteria that we were looking for, and that proved to be true. But what I think a lot of people see community or Waunakee as is a sports town. Football, very well known. Our basketball team, soccer teams, lacrosse, very, very great athletic programs, but also our drama, our theater, our club groups, our special interest involvement events, things like that. Really opportunities for anyone with really any interest that they have to be involved. The transformation that's taken place over the last decade plus, especially in the downtown area, I give a lot of credit to the village leaders and the elected officials and committee members before me that really paved the way and created a lot of these opportunities that we're all benefiting from now, and more to come. It's a great time to be in Waunakee. A quick joke. Oh, I just heard one in the car. Okay, what do you call an investigator that accidentally solves crimes? Sherlock Holmes.